It's 6 a.m. Around the country, thousands of teenage athletes are waking up. Tired, but focused on chasing their sporting dreams.
I would say one of my goals is definitely to get to a US college in the next couple of years.
I would say getting a silver medal, 2 silver medals at nationals. I beat a lot of quality guys. It felt good getting something after working really hard.
Obviously want to represent my country, play for Australia in the Diamonds, but I think there are a lot of goals along the way.
To achieve these goals and compete with the best, it takes a mountain of work.
I've got school netball club and sassy, so it's about 8 sessions a week.
I'd say I'd be doing around 7 to 8 on court, and then probably about three in the weights room as well.
When I'm not really getting ready for any big competition, it's pretty hard. But sometimes I can't walk afterwards. I need at least like 20 minutes of laying down.
It drains you mentally and physically, and then you're always tired, always fatigued.
Sandwiched between all of these sessions is 8 hours of school. Throw in some time for studying, time for a social life, and all of the challenges teenagers have to navigate, and, well, it can be exhausting.
Especially around the times of major competitions, for example, like a national championships. My life literally consists of basketball.
It makes it a lot less enjoyable to just run. It takes the fun out of it.
And you got 10 days away from home and it's just basketball for 10 days. It can be very daunting. The following Friday night, I was done in a club game and subbed out at 3/4 time and just thought to myself, like, I can't do this anymore. That's probably one of the points where I've just felt like breaking.
In Australia, around 2 in 5 young people have reported having a mental health condition in the last 12 months. Almost 60% of these, though, go untreated. When it comes to sport, studies have shown that teenage athletes might be at more of a risk of developing mental health problems, but are also less likely to seek help because they're worried it could hurt their careers. Now, researchers from the University of Melbourne want that to change.
There's an awful lot that we don't know and understand. So this is a group that hasn't really had a lot of attention paid to it. And that's ironic because most mental health issues actually start in this age range of between, say, 12 to 25.
𝗬𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗬 is a professor of mental health at Melbourne University who focuses on elite sports. Her team has just released a study saying research is urgently needed to protect the mental health of young elite athletes.
The pressures that come with sport makes it a bit more likely that they will have some mental health challenges. For example, sports that really focus on your body and having a particular body shape, they often call these the aesthetic sports like diving, gymnastics. We know that there are real risks around eating disorders developing. There are some risks around specialising too early as well in a sport, kind of putting all of your eggs in the one basket at an early age. What research is showing more and more is that actually can be a path to burnout. There can be risk factors around being a bit too perfectionistic, and it's almost that the sport becomes a drag.
Some of our most famous Aussie athletes have spoken out in recent years about their challenges with motivation and mental illness, including swimmer 𝗬𝗏𝗏, basketballer Ben Simmons, and Ash Barty, who took a break from tennis at the age of 18 and then shocked a lot of people by retiring at just 25.
I just know that I'm absolutely, I am spent. I just know physically I have nothing more to give.
Dr. John Baranoff, a lecturer at Adelaide University and former sports psychologist at the Australian Institute of Sport, says the pressure to perform can cause athletes to burn out.
So when we see athletes reach a state of burnout, we might see them lose their enjoyment in the sport and they might start to devalue the sport. We might also see them experience exhaustion and extreme levels of fatigue.
I think that young athletes feel that they kind of always have to perform, and every training and session kind of always just has to be like the best.
You always feel pressure to succeed when you've put in so much effort to something. It's like, what are you doing it for if you're not going to succeed? Like all those early mornings, late nights.
I think because a lot of teenagers are trying to see like professional sport as a career now. So a lot of people are putting in like extra hours in the gym to get better at what they do. And they're not really looking after their mental health.
They hit the line. It is a world record.
When it comes to elite performance and burnout, 𝗟𝗨𝗥𝗬𝗏 has seen it all.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't there. It's demanding. Like high performance is quite cutthroat. You're not guaranteed a spot. You've always got someone nipping at your heels, trying to get you, take your spot.
𝗟𝗡𝗏 is a 4-time world champion, Commonwealth Games champion, and a 2-time Olympian. So she knows what it takes to get to the top.
It was pretty full on. I was training maybe 24 to 28 hours a week. That was here at the velodrome, that was out on the road, that was in the gym. I was at physio appointments, I was at doctor's appointments, I was working on my nutrition with my nutritionist, and I was in a bubble. And I think to reach that level and stay at that level, you need to be somewhat in that bubble.
2 years on from retiring, 𝗟𝗡𝗏 is now a coach at the South Australian Sports Institute. And she says protecting the mental health of her athletes from a young age is a top priority.
There's no point in doing all the training if they're not in it mentally. And that's up to me to upskill myself and build that relationship with the athlete, to know the early, like the signs of them withdrawing, them not enjoying it, not having fun.
We want you to train, practice, be your best, but we want you to have some other things in your life.
While we are becoming much more aware of the pressures and impacts that elite sport can have on mental health, Rosie says we still have a long way to go to properly support teenage athletes.
Just being aware isn't enough. We have to have those strategies to help people when they do experience mental health issues. So we've got to make sure that coaches and others in the environment can pick up some of the signs and say, hang on, this player or this athlete looks like they're struggling. How do we get them help early so we don't have issues where people are getting into crisis?
I just try and talk about it as much as possible because that's what makes me feel better about it.
I think telling the coach is a very important part because they can't help you if they don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's really important because you need to get your mind right before you can perform.
And that's something that I'm trying to come to terms with. Like, I don't want to be known as 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏 the basketball player. I want to be known as like 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏 the person, and like I can be a genuine and nice person to everyone.
Says on 3. 1, 2, 3, set.